anything connected with Saudi and Saudi Salafists, Muhammad teachings of Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, Rahimahullah, they would say that's extremism. Yeah, that's all extremism, and any money funders and all that. All these guys is subject is extremists. So a lot of wealthy Saudis who are known like with big bearded type Sunnah type of brothers that are really Salaf leaning, if not outright Salafi. They are marked. They don't travel very much outside of the kingdom and all that too much. No, even though they have wealth, they have almost paradise-like lives in their own localities, marriage and everything. Yeah, women that look like Prince Walid Al Talal's wives or one of his wives or the Sheikh of Amir of Qatar's type of wife. Women like that are really stately looking type of women. They got women like that, man. So they don't need to go out for nothing. No, go out looking for anything. It's we poor wretches. A lot of we poor wretches have to do economic migration. This is what Nigel Farage is trying to shut down. He's trying to shut down that if you haven't made it by now, you just languish and suffer in your own country. But what happened is you cannot blame the British or the Western world, but a lot of them were behind the machinations. This is what Lyndon LaRouche is trying to explain. A lot of them are behind the machinations which have made the world disparate as it is and imbalanced. They're behind it in maintaining these imbalances via assassination, unwarranted imprisonment, usurper of freedoms or imbued freedoms or usurper of habeas corpus or due processes, so all kinds of nonsense, man. Yeah, they're behind that. But then they want to sit on a high horse and tell people what they need to do, and we need to be kept out, and this, that, and we can't have any more leeches or what they call undercurrent economic migrants, or one Filipino woman who's outright racist, man, I think she's in Singapore, man, Filipina. Yeah, she's outright racist, saying the Muslim problem is finally being dealt with, and this, that, and no more economic parasites. They call them economic parasites. Economic parasites. Economic parasites. Bloodsuckers, stuff like that. People who don't want to bend down to servitude, to financial structures which have a clot, a rancid, putrid clot of certain ethnicities at the top of the blood infused, the blood drenched glob of pyramidal structure which sucks up from the larger base, the finance and the wealth. They don't. Yeah, but this putrid clot at the top of certain ethnicities. I can't say it or I'll be called anti this or anti that, among others. But it's also connected with Semitic, Celtic, Sino. Semitic, Celtic, Sino, meaning that of Jewish ancestry, chiefly, and Euro-Semitic Saxon. Semitic Celtic Saxon, meaning Anglo-Germanic ancestries, and then Sino. Now, what resurging, coming back? The Chinese ethnicities. These are the ruling. The Japanese also is another one, but the Japanese are more insular, and Mr. Tatamoto or whatever has little contact with the societies of which they suck profit from. Little contact, little interaction, little to none interaction with the society nor his lower classes. Almost a samurai or daiichi type of hierarchical structure. But other than that, but he doesn't also interfere too much in the local politics or where they invest in. The Japanese don't. Not too much. The Chinese do a lot. They come in, though it may be subpar compared to Germanic, Anglo-Celtic infrastructure, but they offer infrastructure to countries they want to take resources from, like they did with Africa. Noble with the Chinese. Yeah, noble, quite noble. Quite noble. Yeah, they do that. Russians also do it to a certain degree. Yeah, Russians do. But the West and all that offer infrastructure in your own hospitals and clinics and freeways and all that to become on par with the West. Heck no. Especially for Black Africa. Heck no. They come in there, they'll be in the expensive hotels, they'll be comfortable. They go on safari, they bring up them local easy dark women, because them dark women will spread them thighs quick for them pale men. Yeah, real quick. Yeah, because he is attractive, because he has the world behind him. Yeah, resources and everything, and the benefit of the doubt. He has the world behind him. People like us, I'm just a Negro, inferior, Abid, slave. Ancestry. That's why the guy at the Starbucks was yelling, "Shut up, slave." Stuff like that. Property. That's in the core of his being. The Afro-ethnic male, especially, because you see a lot of advertisements, things like that. Instagram, new things for Snapchat, all that, and you see an Afro-ethnic woman, but you won't see a darker complexion Afro-ethnic man. And a lot of photographs, group photographs, startups, all that type of stuff. And I proved this to a professor who was very famous at TED Talks, and he waited for me 2 hours. This man in Menlo Park, up Sand Hill Road, 2 hours. I was late, almost 2 hours. He still waited for me, man. And because I proved him with our words that the Afro-ethnic male is not wanted in Silicon Valley. He's not wanted. See, so Facebook is trying to suggest twice this man who I don't personally know. I've gone to him to try to get financial help because he's a fellow Muslim. I don't know what he's into. I don't know if he's marked for terrorism or not. I don't know. This is a fellow Muslim. There is another part of this operation that wishes to dissolve and to fray relationships between Muslims and Muslim ikhwa wa ukhwat, as they say, to get rid of that, man, the trust between Muslims, to get rid of it, to dissolve it, to destroy it, man, so that you're thought to be, you're possibly a criminal, and maybe you're a fraud, you're a sham. Why are you contacting me? I don't know you. This, that. When you could be very clear about your speech. Assalamu alaikum. My name is such and such. I'm a such and such a convert. I'm originally from so and so, and I don't have anybody to help me here. I want to marry, or I need help, and I'm willing to prove everything. Bam! If you keep it simple, like that, verify, answer all questions. That's not fraudulent, man. No, that's not fraudulent. Short of sending also a message with your ID, that's not fraudulent. But sometimes there are people that vehemently dislike Islam. They hate Muslims, man. And they hate, really, more than they hate Muslims, they hate Islam itself. They hate Islam, man. They hate what it represents, and they hate the fact of the cloistered Muslim woman. The cloistered Muslim woman that they can't have access to and spread her legs and have out in the street and wearing Daisy Dukes and everything, showing, like a meat market. What they call in Arabic, the word is called tabarruj, your meat market, out there, and I should wear that. And the thing is, they attack people like me, man. They attack us, man. And we don't have any help from the Khaliji states, man. Any help, like the Qatar thing, the thing going against them. I don't support this. I also don't support people backstabbing the brothers and the people in the Memlek and the kingdom, no matter how fusuk they may have been proven to be. Don't do that to them, man. Don't do that. Have an open shoulder. Let everybody listen and say, look, and go back to the root of the deen of Islam and say, this is not Islam to backstab you and to support movements against you. It's not Islam, man, to do that, man. You see what I'm saying? And with the Qatar thing and the Ikhwan Muslimin in Egypt, the Ikhwan Muslimin were elected by the people. Popularly, they were wanted by the people. And then what happened? The Ikhwan Muslimin brothers didn't do, even though I'm not Ikhwan Muslimin and we don't support that tartil, not that tartil, that targhib or whatever it is, that millat. But those brothers did not fulfill their promises to the people, especially with the finance and cleaning up and getting people out of the cemeteries, making dawah and saying, look, all of you people living in the cemeteries, we're going to do rapid printing and building of housing. Get out of those cemeteries, man. Stop living in the cemeteries. Stop living in the dumps of outside Ashar Ramadan. They didn't do nothing, man. They didn't do nothing. People got fed up with them, man. Yeah. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and Mubarak is out, we're going to make it right. Now, see, even the secular, clean-shaven people, even the Sufis type of people, they did right. They might not have gotten been in the CC situation, but they were messing around, man. There was stuff going on, foolishness, man. So the Qatari brothers thought that they were funding something that was more closer to the principle of Islam with Muhammad Morsi, mashallah, there, man. They thought that they didn't really jump into it deep. They thought that, and they made a mistake, man. You see what I'm saying? So funding and doing a lot of stuff, you can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing stuff even tahat underneath what they call in Arabic tahat. Tahat. You can't be doing that. You gotta be straightforward. And let the other opposition guy know, look, we don't think with our brothers. We speak like that openly. In the kingdom, we love them. Okay, and we are not going to get vulgar and nasty, but we do not support what they're doing with not letting women drive, thinking women will be haram if she drives, where taxi drivers are already doing haram with them in our countries and in our other brotherly countries. Taxi drivers are doing haram with them because they're in khalwat with the sisters, so not keeping them from driving is not helping. You know what I'm saying? At least if we let them drive, we can make a minimum that there has to be 3 sisters or who have inclination towards the deen and who are doing durs, who are registered as studying the deen and trying to add to their knowledge bit by bit increment. We have all the digital tools to do this, and they can ride the car together. Minimum of 3 or minimum of 5. Yeah, because 2 is like in Islam, 1 man or whatever. So minimum 4 or 5 in the vehicle. But all of them can learn how to drive, but they got to drive in group, in jama'ah, to remind each other, and they got to stay near each other. And you could even have devices. Their devices are registered to show when one of them comes out of proximity from the others, to maintain the jama'ah digitally. I know how to do all of this, man. Yeah, I know how to set up all this infrastructure. Let the women drive and go where they want to go in their own groups. Yeah, come on, man. Astaghfirullah azim, man. Astaghfirullah. And part of it is also there when there's guys already knocking them up in secret. Knocking them, meaning making them pregnant. Yeah, already. There's already one guy, taxi driver in the Khalid, told me he banks almost 700 women, man. Astaghfirullah azim, man. It's outside of marriage. And he was Pakistani. Yeah, because they go for that. Women love them Pakistani men, man. They have a real raw masculinity to them, especially men from like the Khyber Pass, Afghani or Peshawar, those real husky, dusky features. They got a lot more masculinity than I do. So, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. So what's really scaring me is I was in communication with an American sister, and the sister now only checks into WhatsApp 1 time a day. She doesn't speak to me anymore. Even if you were making istikhara, uqsim billahi alayha, uqsim billahi al-azim. No, uqsim billahi al-azim, not alayha. It's incorrect. Uqsim billahi al-azim. Even if you were doing istikhara, you would still salam me. She doesn't even return salams to me. Something happened, something doing with the WhatsApp communication, and then the sister with the authorities or whatever of that country was approached and told this person, you're not allowed to marry this person. A'udhu billah. These are the photographs we have of this person, or this is with this information coming from the United States. I can almost say wallahi. Yep, you're not allowed to marry this person. Can you imagine something like that?